Today I'm going to talk about some negative comments. And I'm going to tell you something about me. I listen to negative comments, but I don't process it as negative. I take it and I process it as whatever it needs to be. If it's positive, I make a positive statement about it. If it's negative, then I take whatever that is needed out of there for me, and then I throw it away. Now, I'm going to be honest. There's a lot of channels on here that man bash and woman bash and talk about how a woman ain't doing this and how a man. There's thousands of channels like that. This is not one of them. This is a channel where we're just talking, we're having a dialogue, we're just getting to find ourselves. We're trying to find ourselves. So you got to remember something. I'm from the old school, so I may say things that back in the 60s and 70s and stuff, but it's not to degrade anybody or make anybody feel bad, because like I said, I talk because the core of it is for you and me to find our way through this life. And that even though if you make bad choices, there's still a positive thing behind a bad choice. So I'm telling everybody up front, and this, I should have did it in an earlier video, but I'm going to do it now. If you think you're going to come over here and bash people, I can tell you right now, that is not going to happen. It is not going to happen. Bashing somebody just because you had a bad relationship with women or you have a bad relationship with men don't mean that all men are bad. Don't mean that all women are bad. It's just that maybe the people that you're picking in your life are you are attracted to toxic or negative things. And if you are, then instead of coming on here trying to bash whatever, take some of the information that somebody's giving you and use it for that purpose. See that, you know what? I have a candid talk with my son all the time. And back in the day, I didn't think that I had to really talk to him about dating because, I felt like, hey, dating is dating is dating. But things are different now. Women are different now. Women are not like mama. Mama is different. And it's hard for men to find somebody of good quality, trustworthy, all of this, because he told me, he said, Mama, it's hard for you to kind of date because it seems like a woman is more materialistic than anything else. Or, I talked to my daughter. I said, well, it seems like men are just trying to go after this. They looking for this type of woman, So I had to really, and I go places and I've had people say, is it hard to date after 50? No, it's not. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's a little bit more. You got to put in a little bit more into you, but it's hard. It's not hard. It's not at all. If you see this if you know that you've been dating this type of man all your life, then that means that you want to change. You need to change. See, you could be dating the same man. He just got a different name, a different body, but he's still that same profile. So it's not about coming on here talking negative and saying, well, you know what, you need to now. I will block you and I will delete you, because this is not about passing it out there. Like I said, there's a lot of men forum and women forum and people talking about, hey, single parents raise the worst kids. That's not true. I was a single parent. Like I said, it's what you put into it. You cannot just do things and expect the same outcome, because you can't say that now, because it's two-parent children, people who have two-parent children, and they out here killing the family. So you cannot say that. It's wild out here. But it's getting control of yourself. And sometimes and I have to say we as people, I'm even including me, we, do mistakes as we go along. There's no real guide to say, hey, you know what? You know, you this is wrong as parenting. You know, this is right as parenting. You can't say that. So it's more like going along. I want to tell you something that, and I keep saying this, and I'm going to say it again. You know, when I was growing up, you know, my mom had a bad marriage. Things didn't go right. And she would always tell us that men were bad. They was all of this, all that. I grew up man bashing. But I met somebody that reprogrammed me and made me, and that, reprogram. Yeah, because I had to stop thinking that way and think a new way. I had to think a new way. Not all men are bad. And because I applied that, my life changed. I have a beautiful partner. I do. He's you know, he's not into stuff like this really, but he's awesome. He's awesome. And that's what I want to relay to you. So if you come on here and you thinking you gonna post these long things, I'm not gonna say the guy's name, but if you think you're gonna post these long comments about women and oh she yeah, well, you don't need to be on here. If you thinking you're gonna, it's okay to talk about hurt. It's okay to talk about it. But bashing people for that, or creating them as a whole, and that's the reason why now you need to go find somebody else for them. You need to go find somebody else. YouTube, you need to go find somebody else. Because everything that I talk about is my journey. And I'm telling you this with love. Yeah, I do that. My grandbaby taught me that. So anyway, and I do it with love. And I do it because, you know what? Somebody had to reprogram me. And it wasn't like I was 20 and all that. I was in my 30s. I was in my 30s when all of that happened. And as I go along, I have to identify. I have, a lot of things I can identify, some things I don't. People tell me. I can identify myself because I know me. And knowing you can know you and not be in a positive manner. But when you know you and you know everything good and bad about you, people can't come up and just start taking advantage of you. They can't use the word love and then say, oh, well, I love you. You know that difference between that fake love and that real love. Somebody that's trying to hold control of you. Insecure people. You gonna have that. You can't run away from everybody. Everybody say, well, cut toxic people off. Well, then if that's the case, then you will be a hermit because all of these people are in your life. You can't cut them off. You can't cut an insecure person off. That's Pingy right here. You can't cut an insecure person off. You can't cut a person off. You can cut somebody that's extreme toxic, yeah, but you can't cut everybody off. You can't leave everybody alone because everybody come with some kind of imperfection in their life that's going to affect you. I got insecure family members. I got family members that talk negative about you. You can say, hey, you know what? It is a beautiful day. Yeah, it's going to rain later on this week. You got people who will uplift you. You got religious people that all they talk about is God, but they're not practicing it, but they talk about God. So you have to be able to balance your life out on all these things. And when you get into a relationship, that's what we talk about. We're not talking about just dating relationships. We're talking about all relationships. Because when you start getting into a relationship, especially with men, you bringing on all that baggage. We talked about that. We talked about all the baggage that you bring in. And it's not only it's not to judge you, but it is to help you balance out what it is. Even with me, sometimes I need it, I may need counseling. I'm not the perfect person because, when things that I experienced in my 20s and my 30s and my 40s, I'm 50 now, and I'm seeing it's new things and new stuff that coming up to me that I never experienced it. Each decade gives me something to experience. So I'm just gonna keep it real. I go through my comments a lot. I do, because I like to see positive. I like to see positive things. Even if you're telling me that, you know what, I got hurt. This person hurt me. I'm trying to go through. I see that as positive. I see that as a breakthrough, because you're admitting that something is in your life that's kind of holding you back from that. But then don't come over here. I promise you, if you come here and you try to talk about, well, all women and all men and stuff, now we not like that. That's the women you are messing with. That's the man that you are messing with. And maybe instead of you trying to put everybody in a lump sum, maybe you need to look in the mirror and start saying, what am I picking up? Because everything that got a breast and booty is not a woman. Everybody that sit here and look good, smell good, want you to buy their car and do all this ain't good. Every man that's driving a nice little ride and stuff, you don't know where he getting that funds at. If, as far as you know, he could be one check from bankruptcy. So before you start sitting here and see, that's what's wrong. We wanna take bad experiences that we had and tell somebody else that's the reason why this is not that, all women are like that. I tell my son, don't you do that, because you're gonna miss out on the right woman trying to sit up here and lump all of them together. Think about what you want in a relationship. And all these negative comments that come, Pingy wants to play. He going to the groomers today. That's his favorite place. Anyway, all these negative comments and stuff that you're talking about, I don't mind discussing. We don't mind. I'm going to say we, because this is us. We don't mind discussing it, because it's a part of something that might be holding you back. But please do not come on here bashing somebody, talking about a group of women, a group of men, or what, this is the reason why. No, that's your reason. That is your reason and your reason only. And if you don't want to heal, if you don't want to find yourself, and if you just want to sit here and blame everybody, every woman for the choices that you pick up along the way, then that is on you. That's you. Don't blame that woman that hurt you. Don't blame that man that hurt you. You blame you. Because I guarantee you, the package may be different, but the contents is still the same. And if you sitting up here trying to make turn a frog into the person of your dream, you gonna kiss a lot of toads in your day.